Namaste. So welcome to this week's mini class, and this is balancing and bending. So this is just gentle yoga class, and we're going to go through a few postures, a bit of a relaxation at the end, just to give you a little bit of a nice chill on a Sunday. Now, I want to begin with a type of pranayama. Now, pranayama is just a breathing technique, really. This particular one is referred to as alternate nostril breathing. Now, that sounds a bit odd, I should imagine, that you're going to breathe through separate nostrils. How are you going to do that? Well, this particular type of pranayama you can do in your imagination. Now, if you are congested, which I actually slightly am at the moment, then you're not going to be able to do it. So the best way to do this is to actually just do it in your imagination. That is fine. The brain will still work in exactly the same way. It's very, very good for calming you down, for relaxing you. It's a very good one to do at night time, just before you go to bed. So find yourself a comfortable seated position. And we're going to begin by, we're going to bring the hand into this. So you're going to bring the hand, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the index finger and the middle finger, you're going to bring them down. Now, you're going to close the nostrils off with these fingers and the thumb. So the hand comes in front of the face. So you've got a couple of options here. You can actually rest those two fingers, index and middle finger. They can rest on the nose, or you can tuck them in and then you just bring the fingers in front of the face. So this right thumb is going to close off the right nostril, and this ring finger and little finger is going to close off the left nostril while we're doing this. So just, you can hold the elbow. I'm going to rest. I've sat in such a way that I can actually rest my elbow onto my knee. So just close the eyes. If you know what you're doing, close the eyes. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to need to look at me, obviously. So just give yourself a few moments there to centre yourself. And all I want you to do is just breathe normally. Breathe in and out through the nostrils normally. Like I say, if you're congested, imagine you're doing this. And as you come to the next exhalation, close the right nostril off with the right thumb. And you're just going to breathe in through the left nostril only. Now close it. Let the other side go and breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe back in through the right nostril. Close it. Breathe out through the left nostril. So that is one round. But I'm only going to do 3 or 4 rounds with you now, because if you're not used to doing this, you're going to find it a little bit weird. And if you are used to doing it, you're probably ignoring me talking right now and you just carried on doing your own thing. Absolutely fine. So again, index, middle finger down, hand in front of the face. Take a deep breath in through the nostrils or through the mouth if you want. Exhale, ready to begin. Close right side. Breathe in through the left. Close the left. Breathe out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Close it. Breathe out through the left. Breathe back in through the left. Close it. Release right. Breathe back out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Close it. Breathe out through the left. Last one. Breathe back in through the left. Close it, release right, breathe out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Close it, release left, breathe back out through the left. And release the hands, just take a few deep breaths in through the nostrils. Actually can help here clear congestion a little bit. Exhale through the mouth. So alternate nostril breathing is really, really good. Just to calm you down. It's one that you can do at your desk. You can do it in the train, on a bus. You can do it anywhere, but just use it for those moments when you just need to switch off. Just the very fact that you're having to concentrate on breathing in, left, out, right, in, right, out, left. Just that action of having to concentrate can take the mind off other things. So that's why it's really good anyway. So we're just a little bit of a warm up here. Now, if you are sitting cross-legged, you may need to come up onto the knees. Just be aware. So a little bit of a warm-up. So take your wrists, and all I want you to do is just circle the wrists around a couple of times there. So take them in both directions. Listen to see if they're cracking. My left one is, my right one isn't. Now you're going to do the same with the foot. So I'm lifting mine up so you can see what I'm doing. All I want you to do is do some circles with the feet. You can do that. Straightening out the legs and do it that way. I'm going to move the camera down in a second so you can see me when I come onto the mat. So, circle those ankles, both of them out. Did you hear that? That is my left ankle and foot that's still got a few problems from when I broke it. So, now I just want you to come to the shoulders. Just bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Roll the shoulders down the back and take them forwards. Do that again. Roll them up to the ears. Roll them down the back. Down, forwards. Take them round just a few times there. And then you're going to go in the opposite direction. Just take them forwards. So roll them forwards. Just easing that out. I just want you to bring the arms behind you now and bring that right hand behind you. Bring the left hand behind you. Just hold on to the wrists. So that's, you're just opening into the heart there. So all you've done is just held on to the wrists. Swap. So you're holding the opposite hand onto the opposite wrist now. So still just opening into that heart a little bit there. Now I want you to start to bring yourself into a position where you're going to be able to bring the legs as wide as is comfortable for you. Now, if you're not very flexible in your hamstrings, which I'm not, you're probably going to need to bend the knees to do this. We're going to come into a thing called churning the mill. So I just want you to imagine that you're holding onto a big spoon and you've got a really big pot in front of you. And all I want you to take is take a deep breath in and exhale, lean forwards, only as far as the back will allow. You're not trying to kill yourself with this. Sweep the arms over to the left, breathe in, bring them up to the chest. Exhale down the right leg, sweep forwards, breathe back in through the left leg. Exhale down the right, come forwards again, breathe back in through the left, but you're going to go back again. Breathe out through the left, come back round, breathe in through the right, out through the left. 2 more times, breathe in through the right, breathe out down the left, back round, breathing in through the right, and out down the left, and hands back to the centre. Now walk those fingers back in. I want you to bring the soles of the feet together now. We're just going to come into a bound angle pose, Baddha. So if you can hold on to the feet. Now you're going to see my knees are really high there. That's because I've not got the best of hips. Basically my hips internally rotate, so anything where my knees come together and my feet can go out, my hips love. Anything where my feet are in the middle and my hips have to open the other way, my hips don't like it. Hence why my knees are really high. You can, if you want, gently, and I do mean gently, put a tiny bit of pressure onto the inside of those knees by holding on to the ankles, but please, 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 really mindful with that. Take a breath in and exhale gently, just ease into that. Baddha. And you may be sitting there with your knees on the floor thinking to yourself, what's her problem? Well, we're all different physically and anatomically, so please, please don't try and force yourself into something you are not meant to be doing. Your body is different to everybody else's. So straighten the legs out one more time. Just make sure that you are sitting upright. And all I want you to do is just a bit of a gentle twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand onto the right leg, and then back to the centre, and the other way. Right hand to the outside of that left leg. Left hand behind and just coming into a really gentle twist there. And give the legs a little bit of a shake. So we're going to come up onto our hands and onto our knees. So I put this into the YouTube the other day. We're just going to come into a tiger. So a tiger pose is a balance pose. I think I need to move the camera just a little touch. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So tiger is a balance, but if you've got any issues in your wrists, this is why we're doing wrist circles earlier. You can do this on fists. That is absolutely fine. But there's actually another trick. The other trick is that you can take something, probably a little better than a scarf, to be honest with you, but if you take something and put it underneath the heels of the hands like that, and then let the fingers come down, that actually takes the pressure off the wrists to a little less. So you can do that if you want. So just find what is right for you. So start to step the left leg out. Make sure that those wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, so that feels strong enough for you. From here, only lift that left leg if it feels okay. Now my foot is pushing away, so when that leg is straight, you want to make sure that you're pushing the heel away there. So just push that heel away. Now you're only going to lift into this right arm if the body feels okay for it. So you extend that right arm out. Now my body's really not feeling it today, so I'm going to stay with just that left leg. Right arm extended, gaze on the floor, core engaged. Just make sure that feels okay there. And when you're ready, slowly release that left leg back down. Hips back down to the heels and just a few circles with those wrists. Because you were balancing more weight onto the left wrist there, you'll have really felt that in your left wrist. More so than the right. Coming back up onto the other side. Especially when you lifted the right hand up. So coming onto the other side. So this time you're going to step that right foot out. Move my bolster out the way. So step out the right foot. Again, gently lift that right foot away. Push it away. Keep the hips in line with each other. Try not to lift that hip up. Keep that core engaged. Shoulders are over the wrists. Only begin to extend that left arm out if the body feels okay, keeping that beautiful line and gaze coming down. Like I said, I'm keeping mine down because my wrists are feeling it a little bit today. So we're always mindful on what feels right for you, and if the body's saying no, then you don't do it. So gaze down, core engaged, heel pushed away. Gently. And of course, if you do find this pose difficult, you can keep the toes on the floor, that's absolutely fine. But slowly when you're ready, knees back, release back down, and again onto the elbows, because you will have felt that into your wrists. A few circles in those wrists. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring yourself now into a seated pose. So we're going to move into boat pose. So just check that the shoulders are rolling away from the ears. Make sure that you're sitting upright here. It's a bit cold in this room, which is why I've kept my jumper on. So I know it's a little bit more difficult to see that my back is straight, but it is, it really is. So toes are on the floor to begin with. And you've got different options here. You can keep the hands on the knees and just bring those toes in a little bit, heels off the floor, but if this is as far as you feel that you can go, stay here, keep that core engaged. Your balance might not want to lift those heels off the floor. You've got an option where you can actually put the fingertips behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the feet up that way. We're still getting our balance, but we've got two sets of points on the floor that are helping us to keep our balance here, which is the bum and the hands. And maybe you know you can go a little bit further, so you can interlace the fingers behind the knees, relax into the shoulder, lengthen into that back, and then start to slide those toes in. When you feel as if you can, start to find that balance. Lift the feet from the floor, so we can stay here, close our eyes. We don't have to take this any further than that. You can bring the shins parallel to the floor if you wish. I'm not going to take it any further than that. We're keeping this in a nice, gentle balancing pose. Core is engaged, legs are strong, shoulders are away from the ears. And gentle breaths with the body helping us to focus. I usually keep my gaze on my big toes when I do this if my eyes aren't closed. And when you're ready, you're going to begin to bring that back down. Give the legs a little bit of a shaky gait. I'm just turning around because I prefer this way. So, I'm going to come into a half forward bend now. So there's different variations for this, and when you're forward bending, if you have got really tight hamstrings, it is always better to keep the legs slightly bent. You can even, again, blanket can go underneath, or even you can put a bolster underneath. So that's just to protect the back and to protect the legs. So I'm going to take the left foot first to the inside of this right leg and just check that our pelvis is facing forwards. Now, if that is not good for you and this leg is saying not a chance, you can straighten it back out again. You can even put the sole of the foot on the floor. Just make sure that it is comfortable wherever it is that you've decided to place that leg. So we're going to fold over this right leg. Like I said earlier, if you've got tight hamstrings, bend the leg. I'm going to slip the bolster underneath it because it makes it a little bit better. Now taking a deep breath in, you're going to lift right the way through towards the top of the head. And exhaling, just fold into that right leg. So relax the shoulders, close the eyes down. They say that forward bends help us to let go. Now, what I've found is a forward bend tends to make me anxious because I know I can't go very far in a forward bend, but that's because I'm very mindful of my back. I've got a couple of bulging discs. So that is why I'm keeping myself nice and high, because I need to keep the length in my back. My eyes are closed, keeping that long right the way from the base of the spine up towards the top of the head. With each exhale, if I feel as if I can come just a millimetre further, if that hamstring is going to let me do that, that is fine. But only taking that as far as is comfortable for you. Very carefully, gently ease your way back to the centre. Let both of those legs go, give them a little bit of a shake there. And we're going to come on to the other side. So I'm certainly not very flexible, like I said earlier, in the hips. So when I bring this right foot in, this knee really pops up very high. So you can, if you wish, I can find it. There's a block, I have got a block somewhere, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to prop that underneath that hip instead. I'm going to prop that there. So if you support this leg, if it doesn't want to go all the way down to the floor, put something underneath it just to support it. Again, I'm going to use the bolster underneath this leg so it doesn't encourage me to go too far. So fingertips either side of that bolster or onto the floor. Take a deep breath in and exhale, just a gentle forward fold into that. Again, keeping the length right the way through towards the top of the head. Eyes are closed. And with each exhalation, just a gentle stretch into that pose. Closing the eyes down. The beauty of yoga is that every day we come to our mat, we're coming to a different body, we're coming to a different person because of the experiences that we've had the previous day, the dreams that we may have had in the night time. You're bringing a whole new you to the yoga mat. And so it's like being a parent to a child within you. You must remember to be the loving parent who is going to encourage the child without telling the child off. So being empathetic, sympathetic, kind, loving, caring to your own inner child. And take a deep breath in. And again, exhale, gently ease back to the centre. Let both of those legs go and just give yourself a little bit of a shake. So, very quick lesson there. We're just going to come to a really easy twist just to finish off before we come into our Savasana. So soles of the feet on the floor, shoulders, just squeeze them back. And all I want you to do is just drop the knees from side to side. Your bum's just going to roll from side to side. That's all that's going to happen. And your windscreen washing your knees. Just to let everything soften back And then just squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're just going to come to a little bit of a counter pose from that forward bend. Arch into the chest, arch a little bit into the back. You don't have to drop the head back if it doesn't feel right, but if you want to, a little bit of a drop into the head. Just to open into that heart. And then when you're ready, you're going to lie back down. Lie down. So find a position where you're going to feel really comfortable. And all we're going to be doing now is just coming into what they refer to as a Savasana, which is just relaxation. So find a position where you can completely relax on the floor. If you've got any issues in your back, please put the soles of the feet on the floor, or put a bolster or even a pillow underneath the knees. Make sure that the middle of the back is softening into the mat, so you're not creating an arch in the back, so you feel really supported. You can do it where the knees will touch each other and the feet can go towards the sides of the mat. And when you're ready, maybe you want to place your hands on your belly, at the side of the body. You find what's right for you. And just begin to let go. Quick coffee there. I want you just to relax into the whole of the body. I'm going to share with you skin awareness from Yoga Nidra by Swami Satchidananda. Become aware of the meeting parts between your body and the floor. Maybe it's the mat or the bed. And concentrate on them just for a short time. I want you to feel the meeting points between your body and the place that you are lying, intensely, evenly. Bring your awareness now to the soles of your feet. Feel the skin on the soles of your feet. From the heels to the tops of the toes. Now go to the palms of your hands. Feel the skin on the palms of your hands and fingers. Feel the skin and also become aware of the lines on your palms and fingers, intensely with full awareness. Now bring awareness to the face. Become aware of the skin on your face. Develop your awareness. Develop your awareness of the skin on your forehead, your cheeks and chin. Become aware of any lines on your face. Bring attention to the eyelids. Feel the meeting points between the eyelids. And now the lips. Feel the meeting points between the lips intensely with feeling. And now be aware again of the breath where we began. Just notice the inhalation, the incoming breath, maybe through the nostrils, through the mouth, and the outgoing breath. And just now in your imagination, we're going to return to where we began. As you exhale, as you reach the end of the exhalation, just pause for a moment. And imagine now that you are breathing in only through the left nostril, just in your imagination. And imagine that you are breathing out through the right nostril only. Imagine you're breathing in again through the right nostril only. And imagine you are breathing out through the left nostril only. And last time, imagine breathing in only through the left nostril. Out through the right nostril. In again through the left nostril. And out again through the left. And now just take a deep breath in. Really deep breath in there. And exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. Do whatever it is that your body needs you to do. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch. Hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Whatever really comes to you now that you need to do. Maybe you want to stay there. That's absolutely fine. But hope you enjoyed that mini class. A little bit of balance, a little bit of bend. So everybody,